Hi guys, my name is Carter Casio. I'm getting ready to go to a sales presentation. I'm going to meet with a client, and then I've been thinking about myself as a person who is in sales, and I wanted to kind of really give myself some definition, and then I wanted to share this with you. So if you think that makes sense, you can comment later on, and let's go on. First and foremost. What is a salesperson? Well, I believe that a salesperson is someone who, by profession, works with people, provides advice, uh, persuade people in a respectful way to get their business. A salesperson is someone who is smart. This is someone who is well informed. This is someone who is really open to learn different areas of life, different field, different industries in order to be good, to gain more confidence from time to time. That's pretty much like what a really good sales executive is. Now, a good sales executive is someone who also pretty much like to have some specific traits. That person got to be a really interpersonal person. This is someone who cares, someone who listens, someone who doesn't talk too much. A lot of people think that, oh, in order to be a salesperson, you have to talk a lot. No, actually, a really good salesperson is someone who listens more than he talks, because that's pretty much allows you to determine exactly what's really going on with the client and then come up with solutions. Whether you are in financial industry or you are in manufacturing industry or you pretty much in the service industry, any type of industry that you do, all sales executives have pretty much the same traits. They have exact the same strategy. So getting to understand client, listen more, talk less, and come up with the best option for their client. Uh, Actually, one thing that we have to demystify about sales executive is that, oh, a sales executive is someone who is probably knocking at doors. No, that's not the case. So, what you have to understand is that whether you are a doctor or you're a lawyer or you're an engineer, you are definitely a salesperson, because your job depends on how well you do it with your customer. As long as your job is to interact on a respectful way with your customer, you have something to sell. You can either want to sell product, you can sell financial service, or you can sell peace of mind. For example, when you go to see a doctor and you tell him what your situation is, if you know that the doctor is not going to listen to you, or is not going to give you the service that you need, is not going to respond to the requirement that you are looking for, unfortunately, you're not going to want to go back to seeing that doctor, because at the end of the day, he's not really doing a good job. It's about the same thing for a lawyer. So if you're going to meet a lawyer and then you feel that the lawyer is more interested about taking your money, but doesn't really care about winning your case, I don't think that you want to go and do business with that lawyer anymore. So as a matter of fact, anyone that is in an industry where they have to offer services, well, you gotta sell yourself. You gotta know how to sell. It's all about like creating good relationship. It's all about creating good synergy, and and that's where business starts. I took a few courses about consultative training, value selling. And one thing that I have always understood, I have learned it and I have lived it: people buy from people that they like, and then, so if you understand that, this is where all your sales career will skyrocket. People buy from people that they like. And at the end of the day, this is where also, consultative training or consultative selling has like a very big important place into any type of field. Because first and foremost, if you want to do business, if you want to create opportunities, you got to know how to pretty much like create that chemical bond, like how to create this chemistry with your listener or with the prospect. So of course there are different ways that you can approach a sales prospect, but you know what? Just like when you are going to see a lawyer, the lawyer has a process. You're going to see a doctor or any type of other professional, they have a process. Exactly the same thing. You, as a salesperson or a sales executive, definitely got to have a process to be successful in this environment. It's a very competitive environment. Believe me, there are so many people that are out there. Actually, like in sales, they like to call them shark. Shark does not mean sometimes like that person is a bad person. This is just because that person has such like a great personality where, you know what, if you do not step up to being competitive to that other person, definitely you are not a shark. A shark in sales is someone who definitely outperform on a frequent basis. Like, this is someone who is obsessed about selling, and the fact that he's obsessed about selling, he's always going to find a way to pretty much like create opportunities. Well, a salesperson actually is an entrepreneur. This is the first thing that's one of the things you need to understand. This is an entrepreneur who doesn't care about how much money he's going to make. But one thing that he believes is that, you know what, he is going to initiate opportunities. He is going to create opportunities. He is hungry, like he's hungry for opportunities, and then he want to do everything to create what he got to do. This is exactly what a salesperson is. A salesperson also is someone who is a really good advisor. A really good advisor is someone who actually cares about what matters to you. Me, I am an advisor. I work in finance, and I have been able to make a lot of differences between going to sell and going to make some changes into the life of someone. In order to make impact into somebody's life, you definitely gotta forget about, the financial capacity or how much money that you're going to make, but focus more on what matters to that person you're going to meet. If you have this capacity to make sure that you can put aside all of your financial needs, but focus on educating your client, money will just comes to you very easily because you're doing exactly what you are supposed to do, which is providing advice, putting yourself into the shoes of the person that you are listening in order to make sure that you come up with the best solution for them. So yeah, so I just wanted to pretty much like talk about that, to the to pretty much like put some booster to anyone who wants to be into the sales field. This is one of the most honorable, awesome job that you can definitely have. Why do I consider it to be like one of the most awesome job? It's pretty simple. First and foremost, if you pretty much like consider yourself as a salesperson, like a very effective salesperson, consider yourself as a striker in soccer. So consider yourself as the quarterback or the runner into football, or consider yourself as the forward into basketball. So consider yourself as the breadwinner of the company that you're working for, or consider yourself as the person who is really valuable into your field, and then your job is to bring money, is to bring hope into your colleague, is to bring opportunities, bringing money to the company that you're working for. So this is an amazing job. And then at the same time, one thing that you have to also understand, I got to say that most of leaders, CEOs, COO, anyone that pretty much like became like to be the leader of a company, sometimes has been like from the sales team. So as a matter of fact, a salesperson is a leader because he is a self-initiator. This is someone who is self-aware of himself. He knows what he wants to do, and then he only knows that in order for him to achieve in his job, he gotta pretty much like go extra miles. So if you believe that you can work way to bring hope, opportunities, like for the company that you're working for, or if you aspire to be a leader, especially a servant leader. A servant leader is someone who doesn't really care about, like, what is going to come for him, but who cares about what the impact, the positive impact that is going to do for the person that they are serving. So this is exactly what a really good salesperson is. Whether you're working in finance, you just want to make sure that the financial goal of your client got to be your top priority. So if you are a doctor, you want to make sure that your client's health is going to be your top priority. So if you a lawyer, you got to make sure that your client case is going to be pretty much like your top priority. So as a matter of fact, it's always making sure that you put your client first. Okay, well, this is Carter. I have been pretty much like working in sales for the last 12 years, and I have worked in finance, I have worked in technology, I have worked in manufacturing. So, and then I have done a lot of B2B and B2C. So yeah, just to let you know, in my next video, I'd like to talk to you about the difference between working as a salesperson in B2C, which is business to customer, or B2B, which is business to business. Well, just to give you an idea, business to customer, just think about it like you have two people that are going to, that might involve into the transaction. It can be either the wife, or it can be the husband, or it will be both. And most of the time, you already know who the boss is. This is pretty much like if you're pretty much like working directly with customers. But if you're doing business to business, well, you're gonna think about the gatekeeper first, and then after that, you're gonna have to think about the influencer. We'll talk about those terms later on, and then we'll talk about the decision makers. Okay. And this is it. So I'd like to really talk to you about those two ones, so that you know exactly if you want to be in sales, at least you can feel which type of business you would feel more comfortable to involve in. So do you want to deal directly to customers like individuals, or do you want to do business to other business? All right, so my name is Carter. I'm a financial advisor. I am licensed to work, I'm licensed to work as a life insurance and investment broker in the province of Quebec and Ontario. So hopefully, that made sense. If you have any comments, you can put it below, and then we'll see in my next video about B2B and B2C. Thanks.